MP for Swano, Eastern Region, a member of MPP Samuel Aye Pay was talking. You were commenting
I was trying to show where Numa Papem is located. It's between Suhum and Samankase. When you get to the Suman about take your left turn as going to Samankase. We are celebrating the Obrojo Festival. Obrojo Festival. Obrojo simple means plantain. They are very good in plantain cultivation. Have a lot of plantain. Yeah, that's a plan. No. Listen, it's going on. It started so many years ago. My brother, you've asked of Alhaji Dawood being arrested. Yes, it's a good news. When such deal, or let's say a drug deal goes on, it's not one person. Ruby, we are talking of, everybody's mentioning Ruby, Nayele Ametefeh. There are kingpins behind her, as the British newspapers are saying. It's difficult seeing this lady alone, packing all this in luggage and not even using it as a tablet in her stomach, or hiding it by holding it boldly in a hand luggage, and that a luggage compartment in the plane. If you are not bold, if there are not big horns behind you, you can't do this. So it's good that they go investigate, slow down in the personal judgment. As I'm not a lawyer, but I heard some of the lawyers say that once she has admitted the offense and pleaded guilty, the next time they go to court, they are going to pass judgment. But I think they will go down a bit to investigate, to find out who are behind this deal. So Dawood Alhaji being arrested, I learned he actually called the deputy director at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to arrange for the lady to use the VIP, whether it be the VIP or VVIP, that's also not settled yet. So it's good he has been arrested. It should actually come out whether he was also instructed by somebody to make that arrangement, and the investigation must go on and on and on, and do the link for the bar to stop at the last person who actually engineered all these things. And I know when proper investigation is done, we'll end up knowing those who were behind it. But the deputy director at the ministry, my question is, you are a deputy director at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you are operating the VIP and the VVIP, and then somebody who is not a staff of the ministry can instruct you to allow somebody who, as a matter of fact, does not qualify to.
Is it not based on relationship? It depends on the relation between the two.
The relation. You see, the VIP and the VVIP are reserved for certain class of people. So even whether I have a relationship with you, or the matter is whether you qualify to use the place or not, that is more important than being in a relationship. As a member of parliament, yes, I qualify to use the place. And do my brother, my friends qualify to use the place? The answer is no. So that is what we must look at, and that is what I think the investigation should gear towards. I'm of the view that when proper investigation is done, definitely Alhaji must also be instructed by somebody to ask, looking, as you put it, the relationship between Alhaji Dawood and then the deputy director might have asked Alhaji to do what he did. So we must take our time, do proper, I'm using the word proper, stressed proper investigation to know those who are behind it.
George, you're a lawyer. Do you think that, well, despite all that's been said about the plea, and as a result of that, the sentencing that is expected on January 5, investigations by the British authorities, especially the UK Border and Immigration Agency, should go just beyond whatever sentencing may come out? Because, I mean, logically, she couldn't have had 12.5 kilograms of white powder packaged by herself.
Well, thank you very much, Roland, and good morning. And let me also say good morning to our cherished viewers and people of the North Dine constituency. And let me just remind my good brothers and sisters from the constituency, particularly Amfoga, who are resident in Accra, of our meeting on Sunday.
You have a meeting?
Yes.
Amfoga residents?
Yes,
in Accra,
in
please.
Accra, Ashaman Tema. Yes.
I'll be there too.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have you as well. Roland, you see, the lawyer in me does not allow me normally to speculate and put closure on issues. This is a criminal matter. The fact that she will be sentenced does not mean that it precludes others from also being dealt with if their names come up. She can continue to aid investigations even beyond the sentence. In fact, what is happening is that most of what we are talking about is having to do with our side of the investigations. I mean, Alhaji Dawood and all the other people who have been picked up this side would have to be dealt with, you know, according to the evidence that we have been able to pick up here. I am happy that Alhaji Dawood has also been picked up. From what we heard, for which reason he was put on the wanted list. He seems to know or to have a link. And like he said to be the person who called the director, the deputy director in charge of VIP and VVIP. It's such an unfortunate situation for him, because you see, for me, I think that you made a point when you talked about sometimes relationship. We all can pretend all we like. But Roland, there are times when if you are in charge of something, I say, oh, Roland, my brother is coming, can you... Sometimes the relationship make you overlook, particularly when we are all guilty of it. I think that if they want to do a thorough investigation, past governments...
Even those calling for the heads of people are guilty of it.
Yes, past governments, present governments, friends, they've all used VVIP, and sometimes you use it with friends. Or when friends are coming, you find them important enough, you ask that they be met on the tarmac. We all do it. So this is not something like somebody... It's unfortunate that this has happened, and it's an eye-opener to all of us that irrespective of whatever relationship we have with anybody, professionally, we must begin to learn to do our jobs as professionals. And no should be a no. We shouldn't. When we are doing professional jobs, we should just leave it at that. So I would say that I am happy that the government or the state, let me just use the state is demonstrating that they don't want to leave any stone unturned. In actual fact, what I've picked up, I don't know how true it is, that in addition to Alhaji Dawood, an immigration officer has been picked up as well, for the reason that they have a system where anybody who is wanted, once you go through, your name pops up. His name popped up. An immigration officer allows him to go through. So the immigration officer has also been picked up. And so I think that it's a good thing. I think that the state agencies in charge of this case are showing a lot of seriousness. They want to get to the root of the matter. And for me, it is crucial, it's important, because this one does Ghana's image no good. I think that collectively we should stop this, the way we are handling this, particularly with the politicians, where politicians go and sit on radio and say we'll make it an election affair. Ghana's election will not be about cocaine. So people who are sitting there saying that they are going to make it an election affair, if I were them, I would think twice. Election should be about development. Election should be about the things that will bring progress to this country. Cocaine is not something anybody should be proud of. In fact, if your name is linked to it in any way, you should feel ashamed of yourself. I think that it's something we should speak strongly about. And
there's one thing I want us to quickly before.
I hope not on the political thing. We'll come to that though.
Yes, I will. I will not go there. But I have something to say about that. But if we give it opportunity, because cocaine issue is actually a political issue. But my question is, there's one thing that we are all trying to overlook. You see, the new biometric passport that we are using. If I use my name Samuel Ayepe and get one passport with my fingerprint, and then I go there again using George Lowe as another name, and I put my fingerprint on the equipment there, my name will come Samuel Ayepe. You have one license being the same fingerprint. Why are you coming for another passport with a different name? So I asked for a DGMF to get one passport with a DGMF, one passport.
But you do agree there are people who are recalcitrant working in the various sections of the public service who will always do things the back door and flout regulation.
Exactly. That is more reason why we should investigate. We should go there also.
So it will not be surprising to get.
Yes, so we should go there and to get to the bottom of some of these issues.
This issue has opened some of us
to a lot of things.
And we are beginning to look at a lot of things differently. You know, one of the things that got to me is you realize that you find all these informations are found because they went back to the archives. So those of you or those of us who you are sitting somewhere and then you come, this is my friend, can you endorse the passport form? We should be careful.
So even those who endorse all those,
yes, their names are started coming up. I mean,
they may have been innocent people. They know her to be a good friend, business partner.
So we need to be careful. If you don't know the person, you can't vouch for the person.
Honesty.
Those of us who have been just endorsing school forms and things like that for people, because Roland says, "Oh, this is my friend. He wants to go to school. So can you endorse their form?" When you can't even be sure of the results that the person is taking, we need to be careful.
As you put it, our tradition and the way we do our things is difficult.
Yeah, we have to be
remember
careful.
Somebody came to me, wanted to go to university, I have to endorse the form for me. And the question is clearly that before you endorse, you must know that the same person, and also know the results, that the results slip that the person is holding
is the
same one that he has put on the form. And you've put your results on the form. Bring the slip so that I've compared and signed for you. You say I cannot locate my slip. I will not sign it. Then we go and say, oh, that's a bad MP. Just you can't even pay my school. You can't help me to get that.
It means you get the votes the next time. So sometimes you are saying that you koto or you are compelled.
Yeah. So it's our system. It's very serious.
There's a question I've been wanting to ask. The thing about the way the security agencies, I mean, despite all the concerns about NACOP, collaboration or non-collaboration, etc., with the British authorities and all that, the way the state authority, the state security apparatus seem to have quickly expedited action on this. I mean, arresting, impounding, doing all that. I mean, it should be commendable.
Yes, because they are doing this because it's quickly, and as my brother put it, I disagree with him. Drugs issues are political issues. When you handle drug issues and handle them well, it gives you political opportunity. It enhances your chances of winning the next election.
You mean credence?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you don't handle it well, it goes against you, whatever it is. Go to other jurisdictions. See, even in US where they have the advanced democracy, who can fight corruption is an issue, who can fight drugs is an issue, who can get our superpowers for it is an issue.
Immigration is also a huge issue in the US.
These are all issues. So when you go to Nigeria and other countries, so Ghana, we look at the two leading political parties we have in this country, that's the NPP and DC. People who go to the box and try to cast their vote by looking at who can help us fight the drug issues and fight it well. So what they are doing, if they do it well, yes, it's a plus for them. But if they, just as we know them of arresting people, making an attempt to try them so that people will see on the surface that, oh yes, they are doing something. If they do it that way and leave it like that, it's also waiting for them. So definitely, I disagree with those who are saying that, oh, don't let us politicize it. Who told you drug issues are not the political issue?
But why do you have to politicize it?
Because that's what I said. We have two leading political parties in this country. So who can fight the drugs issues and then fight it well? Then Kenyans will decide. It's not only about corruption, it's about looking at who can manage the economy well, but also who is fighting, who when given the opportunity to win the country,
I think that you are
can fight corruption.
I think that you are taking the thing I said out of context. What I meant by it not being political is that you find that once somebody is arrested, all effort is being made to situate that person within a political party circle. And that is where I think that it's not necessary.
The jurisdiction.
Yeah, that is why you should also, I was careful in choice of my words. I used state institutions. You understand? Indeed, it's the state institutions that fight drugs. No politician single-handedly can say that I'm fighting drugs. You use the state institutions. I'm saying that once the state institutions begin to work, we should devoid ourselves, we should take the politics out of it and allow them to do their work.
George, I've heard this argument.
Yes.
That when, for a decade when we had, or for let's say the 2 terms, from the early 2000s when we had a number of seizures and a number of high-profile cases as far as drugs were concerned, the NDC situated it within the era of the MPP. for which we had a Kufuor-led administration, and you made political capital out of it.
You see,
in all reality, and in all fairness,
yes,
would it be unsound and perhaps unfair if the NPP also made political capital out
you see,
of it?
what was
particularly looking at the fact that we have 2016
I'm saying that what
panel.
was the direction of that? What you choose to call political capital?
What I choose to call
political capital. One.
The political observers tend to observe
a member of parliament of a particular political party has been arrested with drugs.
Yes. Apart from that,
all the events after that, we as a party were convinced that the party at the time was not prepared to do what I believe is being done now. And what in seat for instance was, look,
they were not ready to accept that
they were not
even ready
to investigate and fight.
They were not even ready to fight it the way the state institutions.
But the gentleman was arrested in the United States of America.
Yes.
What business has it got to do with the government in Ghana, whether it's led by an MPP administration?
I'm saying that a member of parliament of a political party has been arrested. Even his seat, his salary, everything was kept for him. We made all
until the person is convicted. He's not at fault until he's convicted.
You see, ask them that even when he was convicted, how long did it take?
Oh,
ask them.
Even
we were of the opinion at that time. We were of the opinion that we should have send their signal to everybody that
by dissociating ourselves and trying to take the necessary action.
They never did. Today, they are making the same argument. Today, they are asking president to sack the Shraj boss. When we are saying that due process must be followed. So if whatever he's saying is even want to say that due process was that
boss had gone to deal or trading.
No, I'm just giving you. It's all about proper due process. That's what I'm saying. So for me, I think that sometimes even the conduct is important. Even the way
the action.
I mean that you take after the issue comes up is important. But my major point is that look, where we sit now in an energy crisis, where we sit now with all the challenges that we have in today's Ghana, I will not go to the polls to vote because somebody is being tagged along a certain political line. I want to go and vote because either to tell me whether or what plans each party has to resolve the problem. For me, I think that what confronts Ghanaians today, this cocaine issue, will be Nyale, whatever you want to call it, will not come and solve our problem for us. The key issue for me is that the issues of economy, the issues of energy, the issues of those things. And those are the things that if they choose, it is not like we are not saying bring it on. If they choose
the issues of cocaine,
they will do
the issue of the economy, employment,
bring
that is
it
why
on.
government
But for me, it's my opinion.
So many ministries.
You understand?
We should fight them simultaneously. That is how governance is
good.
Done. But let me give you a very typical example. If we have a private security company in our airport, at the airport, and then a government takes over and decide to change that private security company and put a security company.
We had a private security company.
Yes.
And you are saying the government takes over.
A new government takes over. And
so you are saying through either the civil aviation or the Ghana Airports company.
Exactly.
Decide to
replace that private security company
with another private security. Nothing wrong now.
Very good. And then the head of that private security company at the airport is arrested outside the country with cocaine.
So you are saying that because he's compromised, the contract.
If you allow me to, and I'm trying to. He's saying that when Martin was arrested,
okay,
we're
go
still
on with the argument.
paying his salary, and we're still waiting till the judgment is passed before. Actually, we ran by-elections, and I'm trying to compare. And today, as we talking, the man is in jail, right, in US, but his private company, the private security company, is still operating at the airports.
What role does that security company plays?
You see, what role do they play at the airport? One role of a private security company is to.
So your argument is
once you are
your argument is that his activity is not linked to the company.
Whether his activity is linked to the company or not, if the head of the company has been arrested with drugs,
he's compromised.
He does Imagine the company has no right
Roland,
mining our security for us at the airport.
That's a good argument. For example, you have an entity.
Is still there. You are saying that the member of parliament has been arrested, and whilst we are trying the member of parliament, we refuse.
You have an entity whose head has been compromised in the drug trade, has been arrested in the United States of America and jailed. Now you have his company, even though we've not established whether he used his company to fund the drug trade in Ghana, still managing security at the international airport of your country. That's as serious as it can get.
Roland, have you...
So if you're talking about all the things about standards and things like that, it's not a double standard.
Did you follow that story?
Of the gentleman's case? Yes, I did.
One, we are dealing with a Ghana Airports company.
He has a contract?
100% shareholder of that company.
I'm saying that we are dealing with Ghana Airports company. They have a board. Now, when the issue came up, there were calls for the company's activities to be terminated. National security and all the other people did an audit of the airport. What came out was that, in actual fact, his company does not even operate within the mainstream.
They only manage car parks
and things like
external security.
When the cocaine is carried, it doesn't pass through the car park.
You see, the truth of the matter is that, you see, that's what I'm saying, that when we are dealing with the cocaine thing, the moment you want to crisscross the activities and persons, you find out that then nobody can even work anywhere.
But if you are compromised, you go take a better person.
No, it's not about compromise. I'm saying that, you see, Roland, when you sit me, there are several things that I will do that everybody will talk about. You will do, nobody will mind you. Simply because I sit in parliament. You understand? Simply because I sit in parliament. What I'm saying is that let's not use individual to just try to tag cocaine on people.
But you Ahmad is an individual.
No, he's not an individual. He was a member of Ghana's parliament. What are you talking about?
As a private, you see, when you're a member of parliament, you can also run a business when you are clear. As members holding office of profit.
When he was arrested, what did he say?
Hello, sir.
Did he not even at the time he was even holding a service passport? He was holding a service passport. He thought it was a diplomatic.
If you are a member of parliament, you are going for your private visit, have a diplomatic passport.
No, he thought that he was even a diplomatic passport. He couldn't even tell between.
Let me pose a scenario here. It's hypothetical, though, but in many instances. Let's say you take a company like Apple.
Exactly.
And the head of Apple, the head of Apple now is said to be a homosexual.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, would you say because in a cultural setting he's a homosexual, so we shouldn't import Apple, government shouldn't import Apple products just because the people of Ghana say they abhor homosexuality?
Yes, individually, people who are against homosexuality will never use Apple phones. I'm telling you, if people who are, because they think that he's using the profit is making.
No, but you're talking about morality here, and it's in this same instance. Because a company has a contract.
Let me give you
the contract that they undertake has no link to whatever activity that is undertaken by the head of the company.
In the case of the security at the airport, it's
now,
not.
what happens is for every corporate entity, it is the public opinion about your brand that tends to either give you the leverage in the market, etc. But where we have a security company at the international airport, and its managing director undertakes a deed that is an affront to the morals of society. At the end of the day, how do we say that because we feel that we need to fight the drug trade, take a certain action that is inimical even to the company? Because even the company employs citizens of Ghana. The company is supervised. The company is monitored. The company is audited in all its dealings per the contract that it has.
The screening and the prevention of drug from leaving the country or entering the country, leaving the country into other areas starts from the time that the person starts to pack the drug in his vehicle at his home and then drive right from home to the airport's car park. All this, there must be, or there are strategies or measures to screen and prevent this. So even
if one is compromised, one is compromised.
No, but for instance,
if the head of security private security manning the airport car park, who is entering the airport, can somebody say that, hey, head of security, where are you going? And so he's using his position as the owner of the private company that is man the company. Exactly.
And that's what you believe, but it's not been established.
It's not been established.
That's an assumption.
That's
an assumption.
Exactly. The footballers we have, if for instance Nike is sponsoring IAP as a footballer, and I do something that traditionally Nike will not want to associate themselves with, the first thing they will do is that they
abrogate the
contract. So if we are fighting drugs,
even without investigating, they'll just abrogate the contract.
Exactly, because they think you tarnish the image of Nike.
Let's say you went out,
Ghana
you
and the
NDC
NDC government is serious in fighting the drugs. A head of private security, whether they man the car park or the gate,
that's good argument.
It's related to drugs. If you are serious fighting the drugs, that contract
for example, at the port, at the country's port, beyond the airport, we have the seaport. We have private companies that are operating the scanners that we use in scanning whatever material that goes in and out of the out of the ports. Now, if the heads or how do we know whether the heads or even the company themselves are compromised in the drugs trade or not?
You see, Roland,
and those are serious issues that we need to take a critical look. And I believe that's what Sami is pointing out.
You see, what Sami is pointing out is totally different from the argument we are making.
No,
it's
not.
I'll tell you. Let me tell you. You see, Roland, we are talking about Ghana Airport Company. We are talking about a corporate entity, and you made a good example. Look. You know the story about the owner of CNN, who was not allowed who was not allowed to enter CNN headquarters because the watchman didn't have an ID card.
Yes, I've read that story
before. To show that he was Tetena. That is professionalism. So first and foremost, even the president of the state, the rule is that when you are passing through the airport, you should go through the scanners. Professor Mills did it. I do it. He does it. Whatever.
But it's not the same thing. It's not the same scenario we're drawing.
I am saying that whatever happens, that somebody passes through, it's a whole systemic failure. It has nothing to do with maybe an individual or just a group of people at the airport. If you know what happens, even with the current, when I heard that Nayele went through a VVIP or VIP or whatever, we haven't been able to start. I was a bit.
The lady's real name is Ruby, really.
Yes, I hear she's Ruby.
That's her real.
She doesn't even come from the original here. You know, I don't know if you've traveled in recent times.
Yes.
Because of even the renovation going on, you see where the protocol passes with you. It's such a tortuous. You go through some door. So for all that to be there, and then she still takes the thing. It just tells you that look, it's a group of people that had planned this thing outside, and I am happy that at least it's falling in place.
You see,
what I'm saying in
George, you want us to drag this issue and drag, but there's no need for you to understand the fact that
what I'm saying, when
fighting drag is a political issue and must be discussed within the political system, and so who political party can fight and fight it better before people go to
what
the poll
happens
and vote.
is that, I mean, the NPP time, they had Operation Westbridge. Is that not it? Operation Westbridge. But even Operation Westbridge could not fight.
We are saying we didn't do anything about it. We allowed the cocaine to have. Today we are saying that we have Operation Westbridge. We set up a presidential commission to investigate on it. So we haven't done anything. And yours that is working is where we have 12.5 people in a handbag crossing the security of this country.
We are even happy.
And yours that is working where we have the head of private security at the airport taking cocaine from the shore of this country. Yours that is working is where people are being arrested every day on the drugs issue. So don't say that our compared to what is happening now. Now Ghana
even
has been tarnished.
After the man came back from jail, they organized a celebration for him all the way to his hometown. When he came back from jail,
it's not true.
We'll show you pictures.
No, just bring them.
We'll show you pictures.
Bring them.
Truly, we had people who were who were clad
what are
in
you talking
party
about?
T-shirts.
Party T-shirt to go and welcome you.
Yes, so he said
But the party came out to dissociate themselves.
He said the party.
The
If
party
I'm a
came
member
out
of
to dissociate.
MCA, I'm related to one thing, and I decide to
Did
go there
anybody
with party
punish the party
t-shirt.
for doing
The
that?
party came out to dissociate themselves from
saying that
them.
the party punish anybody
We
for
are
doing
talking
that.
about the position of the party. The position of the party is that
I'm saying that
we
the
should
party
not
go out
to
there
the
to
airport.
punish
When
anybody
people
there.
disobey the party and when
So
they,
punish
whether
people,
they
they
are
will know
party
you are
people
sincere.
or they were NDC people that put up
how?
MPP party
Really?
t-shirts.
Sami,
That's exactly what you are
Sami,
doing compared to what you are saying and what
Sami,
happened.
that is-
Is it intentionally did that?
At what point,
so that-
Samuel,
Yes, I know.
at what point can we say that government really is committed to the fight, or all governments are committed to the fight against drugs?
You see,
what physical actions would you
before I
want to
come
see?
to your question, one important thing we must all admit that we have the executive presidency in this country. The executive president is the person who is in charge of the security of this country. All the government institutions are working under the executives, and the executive president is responsible for any irresponsibility of any security institution that we have in this country. That is why the president woke up when they decided to dissolve the NACO board, because he is the executive president. So we must accept.
Is that not why he's taking all the action that he's taking?
Exactly. So when
So you should be
that
satisfied.
is why in my opening statement I said, when you do and do it well, it's credit to you.
So you're saying
and
that
the
what
government.
he's done is not 100%?
We haven't seen it. What has been done? Arresting people and trying to try them, pretending to try them.
When you
Let us
arrest
see-
them, then the
let
following
us
day
see
you
what
go
will
try them.
happen. Let us always, don't let us rush into
No.
it.
We are saying that action taking
action or not.
action taken
Let us
before
wait
and
and
after.
see what will happen.
what is important.
If indeed
All right.
we
So now-
trace the issue
I don't
to
believe
the
I don't
last
believe it's the
person
last time
and arrest
drugs
and
should be
find out
arrested.
whether indeed whether
how
government
government
people
reacts to it is the most important
in
thing.
government are involved or
And the
not.
people
It is
in government
this
do not
arrest and this
provoke
investigation.
Why do you say if people in government are involved?
No, brother, it is extremely difficult for somebody, a lady like Ruby, to go and use the VIP or the VVIP without involvement from people.
No, what are you talking about? They are arresting
let
people
us-
who have
So
been,
wait.
who have been tracked.
So
But a director of the Foreign Affairs Ministry can easily make orders.
and-
They
and-
control the
and-
step protocol and all that.
Exactly, that's a name has
secondly-
been mentioned.
But that's not a government person.
Who's still using
Who's
a
a
government
civil
person?
servant or public
Civil
servant?
servant working
Even
in
the
the
person
government
being
institution.
held,
So
the
get
person
your
being held to the person being arrested is said to be a financier of your party.
The two parties you are.
who financial
Alhaji
which
Dawood.
party?
Of your
Alhaji
party.
Dawood, NDC kingpin.
No. He's a financier
Wait,
of your party.
let us wait.
But even then, that is why I say, you see, you don't. I said that he is a financier of the NPP. He's known.
He's known as a financial.
Omani had
The
the
minister-
that the girl is a member of your party, known. So
The
what
minister-
That's a member of what MPP.
MPP,
and not
your own aspiring vice
Let
president
us
will
wait
say.
for the investigation to finish.
That is why I'm saying that be careful when you want to politicize this thing.
It should be. It should be.
Because everything points to the fact that all of them are NPP people.
But all of them are not NDC.
I think that the state
if you sit down
apparatus
as
we are
a
allowed to
government that has been voted for having an executive president, if you
Also,
sit down
Kufuor
for
sat
the
down-
opposition
Kufuor sat
party
down-
to use cocaine and use the VVIP and use cocaine to travel outside the country, then you are not competent
Yes, so
government.
Kufuor's-
Then you have
Kufuor's-
the
Kufuor's
president of
government
Mahama
aided
has
their
no
own
business
party members
sitting
to
at
take
the
the
Black
grant.
Staff House as
So
president.
I'm saying
If
that
indeed
Kufuor's party
you allow the opposition as a government with
I'm
in
saying
charge
that
of all
I
the
am saying that
state, all the
Kufuor's
machinery in
government
state,
use the
you
state
sit down
to
and
facilitate the
allow
grant.
the
We
opposition
now know.
MPP
We
to
now
use
know.
cocaine.
I'm
To use
saying that-
cocaine and trade in cocaine.
Okay, we
then you
now
are
know that
incompetent
Kufuor's government
All right.
deliberately aided the
The two
black
of you.
people with the
I want